Good afternoon, my dear students. My name is Arzu and I welcome you all to this YouTube channel. Now, the topic for today is punctuation. Now, what is punctuation? So, punctuation you can say is the system of some signs or symbols given to a reader to show how a sentence is constructed or how it should be read. Now, every sentence should include at least a capital letter at the start and a full stop or a question mark or an exclamation mark at the end of that sentence. Now, how many types of punctuations do we have in English grammar? Let's come up to this. Full stop, question mark, exclamation mark, comma, semicolon, colon, dash, hyphen, parenthesis, as in brackets. Now, brackets as in square brackets, braces, an apostrophe, quotation mark, or you can say double quotations or single quotation. Now, ellipsis. Now, I will tell you about them particularly with their usage. Let's start with sentence ending. So, just now I told that the sentence will end with 3 punctuation marks, which are full stop, a question mark and an exclamation mark. So, when do we use a full stop? Now, full stop is placed at the end of a declarative sentence or some statements that we make. Okay, so the first thing is as a sentence ender. When we make a declarative sentence, we will end that sentence with a full stop, or you can say after an abbreviation. Now, when we write an abbreviation as in when we write the short form of a word, we call it as an abbreviation. So, when we write an abbreviation, we will end that abbreviation with a full stop. Fine. Now, in this modern style, sometimes we have stopped writing full stop or a period in an abbreviation. Now, m full stop p full stop can be written as mp directly. Similarly for mla and ma. Now, it's all about full stop. Now, let's come up to question mark. When do we use a question mark? Now, when there is a direct question, then we will place a question mark at the end. When we make an interrogative sentence or a statement, then we will use a question mark at the end. For example, when did Sahil leave for the market? Now, this is a question that we have made. So, when we are writing this sentence, we will write a question mark, which indicates that we are presenting a direct question. Fine. Now, let's come up to exclamation mark. We will use exclamation mark to indicate astonishment. Now, what is astonishment? To indicate a sudden surprise or a great surprise, or when you are happy and you have to show that in a statement that you are happy, you are surprised, you are shocked. So, at that moment of time, we will use an exclamation mark. What a song! So, this is a surprise, or you can say you are praising someone. So, you are saying what a song, or what a beautiful garden, or oh, you scared me. Okay, so it shows a very it makes the sentence looks very intense. Fine. Now, next come up to next one, which is a comma, a semicolon and a colon. They are often misused because they all can indicate a pause in a series, which means we use comma, a semicolon and a colon to show a pause in a sentence. Now first one, let's come up to a comma. Now a comma represents a separation of ideas or elements, or you can say we use a comma to depict or to show a pause in a sentence. Now see the first example, direct address. Thanks for your help, Shripal ji. So now you can figure it out. I have given a pause in between. I didn't say thanks for all your help, Shripal ji. No, thanks for all your help, Shripal ji. Like that. The second one is separation of two complete sentences. We went to the movie and then we went out for lunch. So there is a pause in between. Now separating lists or elements. When you want to, when you want to express a multiple variety in a sentence. For example, I like cake, comma chocolate, comma blueberry, comma apple. So like that, to separate the elements. Now what does that now see the sentence. Purva wants the black, green and the blue dress. So this comma represents the list or the elements within the sentence. Now semicolon. Now in my last video I have told you about independent and dependent clauses. So independent, I'll repeat it again. An independent clause is a clause which is a complete sentence in itself, and it can give some sense separately. Fine. It do not depend on any other sentence to give sense, to make sense. So an independent clause is a clause which gives sense on its own itself. Fine. So it shows a closer relationship between the clauses than a period would show. Now Sahil was hurt. He knew she only said it to upset him. So Sahil was hurt was a complete independent clause and it gives sense. Now in next sentence, he knew she only said it to upset him. Fine. So this is also an independent clause because it is giving some sense separately. So we will use semicolon to connect independent clauses. Now colon. Colon, as we all know, if we want to write some definition, for example, for example, we wanted to introduce a quotation, or we wanted to introduce an explanation. For example, I'll give you an example. We'll write photosynthesis colon. Now we'll write the definition of photosynthesis. It is the process of for the plants to prepare their own food, right? So we are writing a definition here. So we will use the colon when we want to introduce a quotation or an explanation or a definition or an example. Now let's come up to next one, which is a dash and the hyphen. Now students, there are two types of dash. Two other common punctuation marks are the dash and hyphens. These marks are often confused with each other due to their appearance. So dash and hyphen appears the same, but they have the different usage. Fine. So first of all, there are two types of dash, students. First is N dash and second one is M dash. So the N dash is a symbol that is used in writing or printing to indicate a range. For example, range as in okay, it can be 10 kilometer dash 40 kilometer. So we are depicting a range here, right? Or in this example given 1982 to 1998, so we are depicting a range in this. Fine. Now what is m dash? Longer than the n dash. M dash is longer, that means we will put 3 dashes, or you can say more than 1 dash to indicate an m dash. The m dash can be used in a place of a comma, parenthesis or colon to enhance readability or emphasis. Now sometimes maybe the comma is not visible or it is not that much readable. Fine. So in those places we will use an m dash to make it more emphasized and more readable. Fine. For example, she gave him her answer, no. Fine. Whether you put spaces around the m dash or not is a style choice. Okay. Now also, a hyphen is used to join 2 or more words together into a compound term and is not separated by spaces. Now in my first video where we have read about the formation of words, there we read about compound words. If you remember, in compound words we read that we will join 2 primary words to make a compound word. Now sometimes we will join 2 primary words together without using a hyphen, but sometimes we will use the hyphen to join 2 primary words. For example, part-time, okay, back to back or well known. Fine. So here when we are using hyphen, the accent or the stress or the priority would be given to both the words, part and time, both. But when we are not using the hyphen in between, the second word or the second primary word would be given the more priority, or because it is modified by the first word. Now coming up to next topic, which is square brackets, braces and brackets, or you can say parenthesis. Now square brackets, braces and parenthesis are symbols used to contain words that are further explanation or are considered a group. Now why do we use square brackets? So square brackets are used for explanation, to give a clarified meaning or to clarify, to make the reader understand what is actually written or what is actually the scenario going on behind that sentence. For example, in this sentence, so this sentence, let this sentence be taken from a play. Now in play, the dialogues are written like that, he, then she, like that, but we have to write the name to to help the reader to understand about whom the narrator is talking about, right? So basically brackets are used to give some information to the reader. Fine. Now braces, or you can say flower brackets. Now what are flower brackets? Basically we are using flower brackets in programming languages, students. Computer, in IT, we have many programming languages as in C, C++, Java and so on, and we use these braces there to indicate, to show, what should be contained within the same lines or in the same loop. Okay, so braces have the usage in the programming languages. Now brackets. Brackets, we all know, they are used to, they contain further thoughts, or they contain the further information that the reader should know about, that is, if there is something written, then we will use brackets to give, to make the sentence more informative for the reader. So for square brackets, braces and brackets, the common usage is the information. To give an extra information or to explain the extra thought to the reader, we will use these brackets. Now, apostrophe, quotation marks and ellipsis. Now, an apostrophe is used to indicate the omission of a letter. Now, how? Okay, apostrophe. Now, we will write that, let's come up to first example. I have seen that movie several times. She wasn't the only one who knew the answer. Now, where do we have used the apostrophe? Here. The mark above I is known as a apostrophe. Now, we have omitted a letter have and we have written it as VE with I. Fine. So, this is called omission of letters. Fine. So, now wasn't as in was not. So, we have omitted the letter not. So, first usage of apostrophe is omission of letters from a word. Now, second one, possessive case. Sarah's dog bite the neighbor. Fine. What is Sarah's dog bite the neighbor means? Sarah के, in Hindi it is सारा के कुत्ते ने उनके पड़ोसी को काट लिया. So, Sarah's dog, right? Now, next one, plural from lowercase letters. 6 people were told to mind their P's and Q's. Now, when we want to write the lowercase letter, the plural of a lowercase letter, we will use an apostrophe. Now, quotation marks. What are quotation marks? They are also known as double quotations, or they are of two types, double quotation or single quotation. Now, when do we use quotation mark? We will use quotation marks to determine or to mark the beginning and the end of a passage attribute. So, also when we want to mention a statement said by a person or anyone, if we want to mention the proper statement, we will write that statement in a quotation mark. For example, don't go outside, she said. Fine. So, quotation marks are used to write some quote within those marks. Now, single quotation marks. So, single quotation marks are most frequently used for quotes within the quotes. Now, they could be used inside the double quotations as well. For example, in this example, Priyanka told the teacher, I saw Sahil at the playground and he said to me, Sham started the fight and I believed him. So, this complete sentence is, it has the double quotations in the start and the end, but inside this sentence we have single quotations inside it. So, single quotations can be used inside the double quotations, or single quotations could also be used in the place of double quotations. So it is our wish if we want to write, or I mean in which way we wanted to write it. Now the last one is the ellipses. What are ellipses? Now when we want to show some continuity, or when we want to, we will use the ellipses in writing or printing to indicate an omission. Now what is an omission? Omission is when we cannot write the complete thing and we will end it with 3 dots to determine the continuity going on. For example, in this example, she began to count 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we have these 3 full stop marks until she got to 10, then went to find him. So we have used, after 4 we have used 3 periods. Fine. So what do we do here? We used 3 dots to indicate an omission, especially of letters or words. Fine. And now let's come up to next example. When Newton stated an object at rest stays at rest and an object in motion stays in motion, and then we have used 3 dots again. Now this determines the omission of the letters and the continuity going on. Fine. It is also represented with 3 asterisk symbols. So you can use 3 periods, or you can also use them as 3 asterisk symbols. Now it's all about this topic. I wanted to recall once again. Now we have 14 types of punctuations. First, we have started with the sentence ending, which includes a full stop, a question mark, and exclamation point. Full stop is, we use full stop at the end of a declarative sentence, or to determine any abbreviation. We use a question mark when there is a direct question, and we use an exclamation mark when we have to indicate a great surprise or an astonishment. Now we have comma, semicolon, and colon. And we will use the 3 of them to determine the separation or a pause in a sentence. Now we have dash and hyphen, and we use them. They are often they are used to determine some definition or some example or a range. Fine. Now square brackets, braces, and brackets. So the one word for these 3 of all is information. So to give an informative knowledge to the reader, to make the statement look more clear and crisp, we will use square brackets, braces, and brackets. Apostrophe, quotation marks, and ellipses, I have told you just now. Apostrophe, they are used for omission of letters, like I have, you have. We will write YOU and apostrophe and VE. So it is used to omit the words or letters. In possessive case we will use, and also in plural for lowercase letters. Quotation marks represents the start and end of a statement or a quotation, and ellipsis is used to determine an omission, or you can say to determine a continuity going on in a particular statement. Fine. So this is all about the today's topic, students. I hope you understood it well, and I wanted you all to practice it, and please let me know in the comment section if you want me to, if you have some doubts in this topic, and if you want me to do more of it. It's all about today's lesson, students. And okay, then take care everybody, and bye bye.